Man, welcome back. It's that time once again. Welcome back to your main man, the one and only Coach Tony, and this is the Pull Up Podcast Show. Make sure you do a few things for me. Make sure you like the show, share with your friends, make sure your friends share, and once again, make sure you subscribe to one of the hottest sports podcasts to hit the country as we give you quarter by quarter of sports information. We're doing something different this month as we celebrate the youth in sports, as we celebrate Teen Week. If you have a individual person that you know that need to be showcased or highlighted, we'll make sure we get you the information during the show. Please make sure you reach out to us so your special person can be on the show. Tonight, we're going to Nashville, Tennessee, where a good friend of mine, longtime buddy of mine, just pulled off a humongous accomplishment. But before we talk about that, Val, you know what to do. Drop it.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. I said bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast.
Those that don't know, that's my nephew. Give him credit on that hot track. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. The show, very nice. Again, coming back here from Nashville, Tennessee, with your one and only Coach Tony. This is the Pull Up Podcast show. Tonight, buddy of mine, hailed all the way from the great state of Virginia down in the Hampton Roads area by way of Nashville, Tennessee, has an opportunity to do something that most people have not done. Speaking of that, I'm not going to spoil that, how long it took to get it done, let's say. But we're going to let him talk about it. Let's bring to the stage my buddy, my homeboy, the one and only Coach Rodney Thweatt. Welcome aboard to the Pull Up Podcast show.
You look good on that promo, man.
Oh, what's up, baby? Hey,
you like see,
still can get out there I'm ready. I got my green on tonight, man.
Hey, I need to get you out there helping me, man. You look good.
Man, I laugh. I was talking to somebody today, the kids, and I said, man, I first got started. This guy, he put me on the floor, make me run around with the kids, man. Hey, that's how we got right. You know how that was.
Yeah, I'm sure you still can do it.
Oh, man, I try to slow it down, man. Hey, first of all, man, I had tears in my eyes last weekend, as I told you, man. Congratulations on such a heck of an accomplishment. We're going to talk about it tonight, man. A long time coming. For one, the city of Nashville, and two, for the great people that just have gone through our, privilege, especially yours on the high school side of the house, man. Give the people just a little bit of your background, how you got to Nashville, where you came from, and why did you think basketball coaching was going to be the career you chose?
Gosh, that's a loaded question. Man. Well, when I graduated college, I started coaching middle school in Washington, D.C. area, and I had some success right away. The superintendent that moved to Williamson County actually caught a few of my games because his daughter was a cheerleader. And he appreciated the way I coached and called me when he became superintendent in Williamson County and asked if I would open up the Ravenwood program. I guess that was 2002 or 3. And we had some success there in 4 years. You and I worked together well over there and building a program up from Woodland Middle and the Ravenwood High School. And I always had a liking for the history of Hillsboro and the diversity of the school, and felt at the time that the program could be built into something special, and decided to give it a shot. And just got over there and just started working every day trying to build a program up that could be state champions one day.
Oh, yeah, man. And like you say, I laugh. I tell people, man, go back to that 2003 class as we got started, man. We didn't have a lot of pieces. That was mix and match, man, putting it together. But we had kids that wanted to play hard. And I always give my hats off to you because I always had you laughing. I said, man, I became your first coach under you that broke out and had an opportunity to make a move, man. And it was great because I took so many things I had learned, just the energy. We stayed just different things from practice, getting the best out of the kids, man, and it paid off. And then, of course, I branched over to the AAU. But looking at that journey that you took, when you got a chance to just say, hey, listen, I've done a few years here at Ravenwood. I'm going to go ahead and make this move over to Hillsboro. Why Hillsboro? What was it besides a couple of schools in the area? Because a few schools in the area were open at that time, but Hillsboro one was tempting. It's close to the mall, very high intense area, good kids. But the school had to go through some changes itself and all that. So why did you choose Hillsboro over a few other schools?
The history of the community. I thought Hillsboro had a great following for Metro Nashville Public Schools. Great history, a great lineage of greatness that had been lost, and I always lost in Metro as well. On Metro Nashville Public Schools, I felt as if that these kids were just as capable of any of the county schools or the county districts, and I always felt that they just needed a little bit of direction and discipline, and that's what we started to do day one. Just try to give direction and discipline every day. And I could say even this year, that's kind of some of the reasons to our success, just having direction, having discipline, having accountability every day to being our best.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, we got a few people checking in. My girl, Kayla, how you doing? She checking in. Said, hey, Coach Tony, Hillsboro High School, Ole Miss 262. Said, what's going on? Congratulations. And her son's playing soccer over at Hillsboro. That's awesome. Give a quick shout out to the staff, Coach, because you've had a solid staff that's really been in and out and helping putting things together. And one of my kids, I definitely want to give a huge shout out to because national championship with me on that 05 AAU team that came from you. And now he's a state champion. Introduce your staff to us, Coach.
Yeah, well, I've always felt it important to have alumni on the bench just to share history and stories and the importance of Hillsboro basketball to the current team. So a couple of names: Carlos Holder, who played AAU basketball for you and was part of my first class at Hillsboro. Cameron Jordan, also part of my first class at Hillsboro, a year older than Carlos, but both were part of my first couple of seasons there, and I was glad to add them to the bench because I knew they would instill the same principles I instilled in them, and that's important to have that consistency throughout your staff, so your kids are only hearing the same thing every day, and that's important to me because that consistency can create what we had as a team this year.
Yeah, and speaking of consistency, man, let's bring out some of your guys, man. Let's introduce some of these guys to the Pull Up Podcast show. Let's bring them out, man, on stage. I'm gonna let you do the honors for me. Bring these guys out. Let's talk to them.
All right, we should have Lonnie Holland, our sophomore All-State tournament point guard. He should be here. Xavier Washington, a senior All-State tournament, all everything. It seemed to be.
Yeah, all everything.
All everything. And Tyron Fisher, of course, who was the MVP of the state tournament, is also here.
Man, fellas, good evening, man. Welcome to the Pull Up Podcast show, man. How you guys doing?
Doing good. What about yourself?
And I'm good. I got nicknames for everybody, so we're going to get into some of them as we roll. I got Tez, Ty, I remember when I got a chance to see you coming in first time, I said, this dude just jumped out the gym. And then to see your game transform over the years, man, how can you talk about working under Coach Rodney that kind of helped transfer your game as a freshman coming in, wanting to just intermixing with everything all the way up until where it is today?
Really just the discipline part that Coach T was talking about. He stayed on us since freshman year, even when we didn't want to hear it. He was just giving it to us, letting us hear it, and that's got us to where we are right now.
Okay, and Lonnie, you guys as well. What's your opinions on that?
Agree. Yeah, agree definitely. I think, man, because Coach T, hey, he's definitely a coach that you can definitely remember because he'll say things to you that definitely sticks inside your brain. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's all love, you know, whether it's tough love, whether, you know, it's just, I think the thing with him is that because he cares so much about us. And when you have a coach who cares about you like he does, we really listen to him and we appreciate his knowledge and wisdom that he gives to us. And that's one of the reasons what makes him a good coach and why he's a state champion coach. So
That's right. We got Miss Regina Johnson checking in and saying, "What's up, Coach? My sister was one of the Twin Towers back in 1984, Renee Spencer." So that's
Oh,
that. Hey,
that's pretty good.
That's going back in the books there, you know, and all that. And what do you got to say about that, Lonnie?
Oh. I mean, he just like, although you may want to hear sometime, it's the truth. He never told me a lie. Me and T, I had our ups and our downs, but I thank T a lot because he's the biggest. He's the biggest leader in my life. You know, I can come to T about anything and get a direct answer right there on the spot. He never sugarcoats nothing, and I appreciate him for that.
Oh yeah, and Ty, I'm gonna direct this back to you because it kind of goes to the whole mix of things. You know, you had an opportunity to play as a freshman, as a young person. You know, how did that make a difference in how you guys had the nucleus? Because if you look at basketball today, and me and Coach Thweatt's been together a long time, and I'll guarantee you he's calmed down now more than he was when we started because he got colder. But when you're looking at that, Ty, and you going through that from the young side of it, and you got these young guys like Zay and Lonnie and a couple other guys on the team, you know, how does your leadership show through and make sure that you still stay on the same page that Coach Thweatt wants your guys on?
Well, coming in as a freshman, pretty much the whole team was freshmen, even our juniors. I mean, they ain't really played varsity. So just growing with my team, my seniors, like the seniors that left, it's really just showing the leadership that they left, especially the 2023 class. So the young guys coming in, I had to lead them when they came in so I can leave them with a good mark.
And Coach Rodney, was it difficult to kind of, you know, like as you got a chance to get in, you had a young team. I know I used to talk to you all the time. You said, man, we're just a work in progress. What was your philosophy? I know it, but what was your philosophy that you can share on everybody that you had to make sure that this group of guys fit into?
Yeah. Well, you know, we have a philosophy of basketball at Hillsboro that starts with defense, number one. But I would say that the key was just being every day was a state championship, every practice, every summer league game, every weight session, every film session. You know, it was always the same, the level of intensity, the purpose, the importance. It didn't matter if it was a regular season game at McGavick on a Tuesday night. You know, our expectations and standard to play was always there. And like I said, it didn't matter where we were, what we were doing. And I think when we got to the state tournament, I had to do very little directing from the floor, from the sideline. You know, those days of making and demanding things to be the way that they need to be, it just starts to happen and flow. And the team can play as freely as possible. And that's what they were able to do at the state tournament, just play free and do what they've been practicing every day. You know, we never changed. We never deviated from what we wanted to do from a day-to-day basis.
So coming into this season, how was the preseason all the way up to that run? Were you doing a lot of two-a-days, or did you have the guys checking in and they kind of had a check-off list as to what they were going to be doing?
Yeah, two-a-days. I guess they had two-a-days as seniors. And I can remember Tyron and Xavier having four days as freshmen and sophomores.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, they were, like I said, he said they were all ninth graders, and it was just a lot of work to do. But yeah, we had two-a-days. I was actually coaching volleyball this fall, so I didn't see much of them. But my coaching staff did a great job keeping them together and keeping them working.
And man, y'all don't tell me that Coach Rodney about to try to go win a state championship in volleyball. Now I tell you, that's gonna be the new one on me on now. Hey, listen, We are on the Pull Up Podcast Show with my guys, state champion from Hillsboro High School, Nashville, Tennessee. We're going to take a break out of the first quarter. Val, pay a couple of bills. We'll be right back on the Pull Up Podcast Show.
Are you a small business owner looking to grow? Introducing the Key Spot mobile app. I'm Cynthia McAllister, owner of the IT company Quality SAP. Since 2016, we have been supporting small businesses and help them promote and share their businesses, services, and events across the country. Key Spot is more than just an app. We are a network providing community. Key Spot, connecting communities and supporting small businesses.
Man, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show. There you go. Now we got a couple of things here. Started on the championship run right there. That started on the championship run. That was nice. Oh man, that night was electric, man. I'm telling you, it was electric in there.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that championship run. Before we get into it, Val, we got a little special video we're going to play for the people that kind of exuberates the kind of work that Coach Thweatt does for his players and what they have an opportunity to go on. Val, you got that video? Go ahead and play that for us real quick.
Growing up, I always dreamed of playing Division I college basketball. They say the chance of getting D1 offers while playing at Metro Nashville High School were slim to none. But I'm a dreamer. I was determined to prove them wrong. Hard work, grinding, and dedication brought me to this point today. First, giving honor to God, because none of this is possible without Him. I would like to thank my parents, Dwayne and Siobhan, my brother Jordan. I want to thank my trainer Will Thomas and Coach Mike for tireless working with me to elevate my game to the next level. I am grateful for all my middle school, high school, and AAU coaches that have helped develop me and help me grow. But especially thankful to Coach Todd, Coach T, Coach Jamie. I'm grateful for all the coaches who have recruited me, but unfortunately, I can only choose one school. The next chapter of my life will directly impact my future. I need to be at a program that believes in me and will take me to the next level. And I found that place. With that being said, I'd like to further my academic and athletic career at the Furman University in Greenville, South Carolina. I'm all in.
Man, that's awesome, man. Coach, you know, you and I laughed and joked about this tonight that Ted went between the leg and you guys get to move on against Beat. You know, how did that make you feel? Because we go back a little bit. Ty, you're a freshman, I think. You know, you and Zay freshman, y'all there. And JP hits a half-court shot, win the game, and the very next day, the pandemic hits, and nothing happened. Coach, is that like a sucker punch almost, man? How did you feel behind that?
Well, first Xavier, I believe Xavier and Tyron were 8th graders. They probably were watching that game on TV.
Yeah.
But you know, that COVID story is kind of what makes this whole thing special, because I have about 7 or 8 stories equal to that COVID situation that probably had direct impact on us not winning it prior to this year. So winning it this year, it just draws back all those teams that had opportunities to do it before, but something catastrophic would happen, which just made this run so much more special for me, because it just highlighted all those other great teams that had opportunities that just didn't have everything fall their way. So it's interesting that you make that connection, because there were other issues like COVID that stopped us in the past.
Yeah, and man, you laughed about that at that game, and I said, man, if history serves me right, this year was the first time that game was back at Hillsboro for that final game since JP's shot, and so I thought it was just so special to see it. and all that time. You got a chance to be the young guy at that particular point to live through all that. What did you think, man? Did you ever think basketball was going to be back? Did you, after that pandemic hit, man, how did you stay as a young freshman? How did you stay mentally focused and say, I'm going to stay locked in?
Nah, quarantine, it was rough. I remember I wasn't really doing much basketball. Came in freshman year, found out I was going to Hillsboro, walked into Overton, chubby. Just came in there with Coach T, ready to work. I mean, all the 4 years it paid off. So I mean, it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, because I remember, Rodney, you and I talked. There was a lot of guys, I don't care, high school to college, that they just walked away from the game at that time. They just, and they didn't have an opportunity to do a lot. We got Coach Justin Allen checking in, say shout out to Hillsboro. Thank you guys for representing the Ville, man, on that ship, man. I know they definitely appreciate that. If you guys got any questions, any comments for these guys, please make sure you put them in the tagline so Val can put them up here. Let me ask you guys this here too. Zay, especially with you, I call you Mr. Crafty, man. Who do you style your game after?
I mean, nobody in particular. But because I'm left-handed, I watch a lot of left-handed pros, see how they can really like perfect their game and see what things they do to really able to ball out on the court. But I mean, for the most part, like go back to when Ty said quarantine, that was hard. And that's when I just started trying to get into the game of basketball, really, because I played a little bit in middle school, but not so much. And then when COVID happened, I didn't get my 8th grade year. So I didn't get that chance to keep building and keep getting better. So quarantine, I just went outside when it was dark, got up shots. And then I met Coach T at an AAU game. And then I went to Hillsboro. Like Ty said, we were at Overton Gym. It was rough, but eventually it got fun. So I'm just happy that we were able to get better from quarantine into now.
That's good, because that was hard. And Lonnie, what about you? How was your story? Because once again, you and Zay the same thing. You guys are coming up young. Man, I love your game, by the way, man. I love how you shoot it. I love how you pull out. I like how you play, and Coach give you guys the freedom to play. He's always done that. I don't care what team we've had. He's always forced guys to play within their game, to do different things. What's your backdrop on that, Lonnie, as to how you kept yourself in the mix of everything, getting ready to go to high school, and why did you choose Hillsboro?
So during quarantine, I was just playing the game all day, chubby, really doing that. My 7th grade year, I was at Eastern Prep, and I finished out there. 8th grade, my big brother had got a coaching job in Nashville Christian, so I transferred over there. And over there, you can play high school basketball and middle school. So,
right.
He was talking to me about it, but I wasn't sure I wasn't doing that. So my cousin Mark, he was telling me, he was like, he about to get a coaching job at Hillsboro. He was like, he don't think I should play high school, because he was like, he got a strong feeling that I'm going to go to Hillsboro with him. But I listened to my brother. I played high school basketball in 8th grade. But after our season, I knew I wanted to go to Hillsboro to have a higher percent chance of winning state. So freshman year, I got over there and they denied my eligibility. So it was rough, but
wow.
I just pushed through it, and sophomore year I got me one. So yeah.
And that's good, man. You had your way to course, and look at you now, man. You guys are champions for life. Coach, go back and take us to the mindset, right? You talked about that and touched up on that a little bit. I know you're definitely a godly man, pray to the Lord and all that. How did you prepare these guys in terms of that mindset? Because you're coming off of that. As you say, you saw some great run from a lot of good kids from a lot of other teams in the city who had an opportunity, but unfortunately it was Knoxville or Memphis that took it away from them. And this year, the path was cut. What was the mindset at the beginning of the season when you walked in, you said, hey, I think that we got a shot?
Well, I wouldn't. Yeah, a couple things on that question. I wouldn't say Memphis didn't have anything to do about it. I just think luck. It takes a little level of luck to win a state championship.
Yeah.
And we just got the bad end of the stick on some of those situations. With this group, it was just we were consistently working on our mindset, working on what it means to be a team, what it means to love each other, what it means to share the ball, what it means to defend. I mean, we just did it every single day. I can't tell you it's any secret other than we worked at it hard every single day. I challenged them every single day to be better than they were, and sometimes better than they wanted to be. But our relationship was strong enough where I could challenge them that way and create the level of mental toughness that they had. I mean, if you look at all three of those state games, each team made a run, and a lot of teams would break in those situations. This group practices are probably harder than those state games were. You could look at the level of ease, at the way that they attack certain situations, that their day-to-day was just as hard, and it showed. And they have to give them a lot of credit. To play there for me and to deal with me can be really rough some days, but the hope is that it pays off. I could care less about how you feel in that day. What's important, like you said in that video there from JP, is that you give them an opportunity to become successful as men, first and foremost, and through basketball and through the level of toughness that you have to have mentally, physically, spiritually in order to be the best at something in your state. You got to buy in, you got to commit, and you got to, you have to work, and you got to be honest with yourself every day. And they were committed and willing to do that. So, a lot of credit goes to them to have that foresight at such a young age to know that whatever we were trying to do as a staff was for their best interest. And going forward, I hope they always remember that.
That's good. And fellas, either one of you guys can answer this. When you got a team like that and you got a lot of different heads and a lot of different things, and Lonnie, you the baby, and Zay the shooter doing things. What were some of the challenges? Because everybody didn't get along every day. I know that. I know that for a fact. So how did you guys make sure we put the egos aside and stay focused on the mission?
Really, I don't know. I feel like the way we went out last year, our mindset coming into this year was just, we got to go get it. We knew from day one of preseason, everybody's mindset just changed totally. I matured a lot the last month over the summer. My mindset came in strong, and we built like a brotherhood a lot. And it was it was just more so it's either now or never for the seniors, and I wanted to do whatever I could to get them on. So, yeah.
Right on. Perfect.
And Ty, you Zay got anything on that as well about the same?
Really hit everything. I know. Yeah, last year losing the subs, stay by 5 on your home court, it really hurt. Just to see the disappointment on everybody's face. That hurt. Coming this year, we got one of our juniors went down, Colin. So we knew that the bench not really having a lot of freshmen coming in, the bench wouldn't have a lot of depth. So our seniors, our mindset had to change for sure.
Oh, that's good. We're gonna give a special shout out to Graham Howard, who's not here, better known as Taz. He's not here. One of the other, as I call the quadruple amigos. Coach, y'all made Coach Rodney's job very easy. Having everybody, Ty shot blocking on the backside of the house. Zay, you and Lonnie sticking people and defensively minded, man, getting on the floors. I love coming to the games. It was hard because of getting out of my season. But I think I showed up at the perfect time as you guys were finishing the end of the season and going into the state playoff. So, you don't see kids, and Coach, you probably say that, and when you see games, you don't see a lot of kids get on the floor no more, get scrappy anymore. These new kids don't want to get hit, don't want to get touched. And you guys kind of was bringing that on. Let's go, bringing up physicality to the game. Who set that in practice every day?
I mean,
probably Coach T.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Coach See,
I say he and Cam.
yeah, probably
Staff and the
Coach
staff
T.
as whole. I think they started with Coach Jamie back in the AU.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because Coach Jamie, I remember Coach Jamie
Yeah,
used to be live in there. Yeah, he turned up all the
yeah,
time.
for sure. He's still part of the staff.
Yeah,
yeah.
he just eat up on that. What you saying, Zay?
Oh, yeah, we even had I think we started doing it last season, but we did this charge taking drill where it was either Mark or one of the other coaches. They would drive to the basket, and we'd step outside the lane, take a hit right to the chest, and like Lonnie said, pick up what Lonnie said a little bit earlier about brotherhood, and then when our brother fell to the ground, we all picked him up, clapped, cheered him on. And like T said, practice was probably harder than some of the games, but we also managed to make it fun, and really connect as a family.
That's the key. You're working hard, you got to make it fun. You know, and like these guys said, as they working hard, we're gonna take a halftime break here at halftime with Coach Tony on the Pull Up Podcast Show. Val, pay a couple more bills. We'll be right back to the show. 1 second.
Tony, what would you like to ask Terrence?
Listening to that trailer, man, it was so cool. When you got a chance to get involved, what were your past experiences?
I haven't necessarily done narration and voiceover, but I am a songwriter and performer. I've done that for a while. And with this project, one, I'm not seasoned enough to know what high 8 tapes are. So I'm just pulling off my experiences with elder people in my life and their stories and try to connect that bridge. So I just tried to do that the best that I could. And I'm happy with how it came about. I'm excited for people to start seeing it and seeing how over these many years it's come full circle, as John said.
Terrence hits on a great point. The spirit of the film is based on the spirit of the music and the times of the 90s. That was important that came across because that was a different frequency of music, back then.
Well,
it was an exciting, challenging time where you felt the birth of a new musical movement was happening.
Ultimately, we actually shot in 13 different locations and had a cast of over 60 people. And then we had this tape, this project that was still in search of an ending. And for 30 years, I've lied and carried this on my resume as a film that I completed. But nobody ever asked me for it. But I'm just grateful for the fact that, I'm grateful for the fact that Wendell found these and just wrote such a brilliant narration that really pulled everything together and brought it to some peace after all these years of this unfinished project.
The Pull Up Podcast Show with one and only Coach Tony and my guy from Hillsboro High School, state champions here in Nashville, Tennessee. Coach Rodney, let's go back, rewind this clock and give some shout outs. You pulled off of a feat here in Davidson County for Nashville in the city of. First time since 1981 in Pearl Combe High School. And how did that make you feel?
Honestly, that part of it is probably still processing. It was more important for me, for Tyron, Lonnie, Xavier, Tez, all those guys, just to play their best basketball at some point before they left. That was the most important thing. And that just happened to be history making when they did that. And I always knew that once they put it all together, that all that other stuff would take care of itself. So, my mind and my goal and my mindset was, it was really never winning the state championship as much as it was that Tyron played to his abilities and understood how dominant of a player he could be, how Lonnie could come out of that game and see what he's capable of, and why I've been on him all the time about his work ethic and his, just understand how much talent he has and being able to see that come into play, because that changes kids. I always say, once a kid realizes they can do something,
Right.
Their whole mindset changes. 9 times out of 10, their whole mindset changes. So him realizing that his future is within his hands and his grasp, it was important for me because what right now all it does is take work. It's the work. I can do it now. I got to put the work in, and that's the easy part to me. But like I said before, I just wanted all the kids to see what their potential was as a team and play at that level so they could have that amount of fun and freedom to play basketball the way that they were playing those last 3 games of the season. The way we were playing, I would enjoy just keep playing because I think they would just continue to win basketball games. That's how good basketball they were playing by that point. So that goal was accomplished, and through that, we made history.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. And I know they didn't want to start, especially Ty, because you done AAU and everything, baby. So you don't get to get that uniform on. But I'm gonna start with you, Ty, and work around the room here, knowing that you're now going into the shrine of Hillsboro High School Hall of Fame. That years down the road, you'll be able to come back and bring your kids, and show them what you did, man. What did that mean to you?
That part hasn't really hit me yet, but just thinking about it right now, it's a lot. That's a big accomplishment. Knowing coming from freshman year where we was, that was the bottom. After coming in for freshman summer, I didn't think we was gonna win a game, but we just kept working, kept our head down. 4 years later, we stay champs.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about fighting against the likes of Brandon Miller and those guys that came Ridge the season ago, Rodney. So, for those that don't know that's listening tonight, they didn't have a cakewalk in the district either. It's a tough district, going all that. Zay, what you think? How what have you processed so far?
Man, like T and Ty said, I'm still thinking about it because it's just hard to believe that we finally accomplished a big goal that we've been wanting since me and Ty were freshmen. And for us to be seniors now, and that we finally got that gold ball that we've been wanting for a long time, and finally seeing our hard work pay off, it was just really like a true blessing for us to really make that happen.
Yeah, Lonnie, you the baby of the group, and I know you didn't see any of this, but you talked about it. You wanted to be in position to transfer from one school to the next to give yourself an opportunity. Man, how did you make you feel that you not only transferred, but you made the right decision? You picked the right coach, you picked the right team, and you got an opportunity to do something at a young age with an opportunity to do it again.
First, I just want to give all glory to God. I mean, it still ain't like it hit me, but it hit me the night of state. Like a lot of people don't know, I cried before the game, but I also cried after the game. Like it's a special moment for me. Just knowing that I made history. It was just a blessing. I mean, T had got us a little therapist like mid-season, and she played along a lot in it, just getting us right mentally. I mean, the team manifested, so it was like we knew we was gonna lead with the gold ball. Now it's just like I'm still in shock. So yeah.
I know y'all walked around the stadium, was passing in the crowd. Right now, I was scared somebody was gonna drop it, man. You get back here, broke the ball, man.
No, they tore the trophy up. I got to get a new one. They messed it up. I'm still mad about
man,
that.
I'm saying, man, what y'all doing, Ty? What y'all doing, man?
Yeah, we got to get a new one.
That, man. Man, I tell you, the good thing about it too. I remember I was talking to Coach Rodney. I was talking to Mark Reeves and the guy from the state, man, and it was just so much of like a Musa come over, man, just to get an opportunity to give the city of Nashville, man, a piece of glory again. And people they talked about it for weeks. Everywhere I was going, they were asking me, man, about the Hillsboro, and I was like, yeah, that's my guy over there, and doing that. So the big question is, Coach, will you be in position again with a younger crew? Because explain to people, you already talked about how much you had to put into the program to even get this far, but then you get it, and then you graduate people like Tez and like Ty, and you got Zay, and now you got to dig back in those pockets again. How do you reload?
That's a great question. we have the pieces now. The interesting thing is the responsibility of Todd, Cortez, and Xavier and Drew, and it falls to Lonnie. And they say we'll go as far as our leader takes us. So he's going to have to embody everything that group had embodied in him, and take the younger group. And I really believe that we'll look different, but we could be really, really good next year if we put the work in, and the leadership and the culture stays. All those things are important every year. Every time you have that turnover, do you have the one or two guys left in the locker room to keep that championship culture going? For Tyron and Tez, they had Trey and Caden that was still in the program, that when they walked on the campus, they knew the expectation. And they were taught from day one, this is what we do, this is how we do it, and this is why we do it. And Lonnie is going to play a big part in that. And he and I are going to work together to build the team. As long as the culture's there, I think we got a chance to be really good. And I think he has a chance to have a special season. And I'm just anxious to see how him learning what he is capable of changes his day-to-day to become the best version of himself. And I believe the city is going to be enjoy watching him play the game of basketball next year. I really do.
And Ty, I think you need to, as long as you keep on beating up on Baby Joker down low. Y'all got Baby Joker in the house down low, man. he got footwork incredible, and he's undersized big man for you, Rodney, but he plays big along the rim. He stays physical. He steps out on the perimeter, takes the shots, and I think Lonnie, they always say it's in threes, like you guys here tonight in threes. It's always in threes. So as a young guy having a torch being handed to you, Lonnie, what are the concepts of what kind of things are you going to do this summer to prepare yourself to make sure, okay, I got the torch being passed to me. Now I've got to set the program in the right, or continue to push the program in the right direction.
It's a big challenge, but it's a challenge that I asked for. Really just continue to listen to T. That's pretty much it. Just facing the challenge. I'm changing my life, making my life more consistent. A lot of self-discipline. I'll be good to lead the team next year.
Yeah, and Coach Rodney has I know AAU and NIL and all this stuff is flooding the entire gamut of basketball. Today I was on my report today, and they show we had on one of my reports 1,289 kids in the portal on the college side of the house, which is insane to me because of what NIL is doing. How has the summer AAU basketball, how has that helped out the Hillsboro program for you and kind of made it easier so your guys, one, stay in shape, and two, continue to play at a competitive rate throughout the summer?
I don't know. I really don't get much into the summer ball AAU that much. Probably I don't know. I'm sure it keeps them in shape and gets them in front of college coaches. So I appreciate that part of it. But really it has little to do with one with the other. I almost think when they come back from that, it's almost foreign language what I'm talking about. So I don't know, like I said, other than conditioning and getting in front of college coaches. That's the great part about it. But I don't think it necessarily connects to Hillsboro and what we do today that much.
And Coach, just to make sure that these fans don't understand that we're just not playing basketball. What kind of academic standards are you putting on these guys? Because we know as we get to the next level, with Zay and Ty getting ready to move on academically, at one point this basketball in the grammar things in terms of college works completely different than high school. So what kind of things have you put on the kids in terms of academic success?
We've talked a lot about academics. We supply them tutors when need be if they need them or come forward with it. Most part, just kind of talking about it every day. talking about the importance of class and what they should be doing or shouldn't be doing. But I think for the most part, especially with the senior class when they were younger, they had to do study hall every day, math tutoring, stuff like that. But this next we turned it over to this young group. I think we're going to have to redevelop those programs and make sure that those guys are doing what they need to do in the classroom and they have all the supports that they need to be successful.
I mean, that's great because when you guys get to college, I'm telling you, what Coach just said, you're going to automatically have an assigned tutor, no matter what. You got to go to those tutoring sessions and check in. So, man, again, I'm proud of y'all. We're going to take our last break of the day. And we're going to bring it down the stretch here. We'll be right back. Val paid the last bill of the night. We'll be right back on the Pull Up Podcast Show with Coach Tony. We'll be right back.
I've always thought about how my mom has supported me in any creative endeavor. How beautiful was it for your mom to be the superhero in your life and show up in your creative ventures with this book?
People ask her to sign the book more than they ask me to sign the book. Sometimes I step to the side, I take their picture. And, we have to celebrate our mothers. We got to celebrate our beginning. So she comes out with me. Every event, she is there. Even when I tell her she does not need to come, she will show up in the parking lot. And I'm like, oh, okay, you coming? Okay. I'm like, all right.
Right. And she got a bottle of wine in her hand.
What in the world? Why are you giving her alcohol?
No, I'm just saying. She showed up in the parking lot. She got a bottle of wine, nice wine. She's going to set it down. She ready for the show, Val. You know what I'm saying? Because the funny part about it is, CJ, I've actually talked to Val. I thought about, writing a book myself called My Man's in Them. But,
I love it.
And look at Val.
My man's in them.
My man's in them. But you got to read the book. You got to read the book. But it's a play. CJ, I apologize because Val should have dropped some old Dub C so you could have came out crip walking. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not flamed up right now. I got to hold on. Trying to get me shot.
Going back to school tomorrow, like I saw you, Miss Charles. I saw you.
I mean, I can crip walk, but please, but I'm kind of, I'm authoring right now. You guys are funny.
Yeah, it is.
Final quarter of the night with your man, Coach Tony. This is the Pull Up Podcast Show. You're writing your guy, Coach Ty Bailey said, what's going on? Tyrone Bailey checking in and out, said, congratulations. Appreciate that. Again, if you guys got any questions for Coach or the players, please check in tonight before we get out of here. But let's talk about future. Ty, start with you, man. What's next for you? What's on the horizon?
We still deciding right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got a lot of good things in the hopper going on right now.
Yes, sir.
That's good. That's good, man. I tell you what, one thing you got the best person in your corner right there, Coach Rodney. Make sure you sit down and look at all the opportunities and you take advantage of that, because whether it's D1, D2, D3, or JUCO, the new future of basketball plays in your favor. And I'm just telling you from working in this every day, make sure whatever it is, it lands you on a good side of things in the next few years and get your academics out the way. At the end of the day, make sure that academics stay straight.
Yes, sir.
And Zay, what about you? What's next for you, baby?
I've decided to go the JUCO route after high school. Use those 2 years to keep developing. Because again, didn't start really playing until when I was 14. So I know I still got parts of my game that I need to work on and develop. And I think going the JUCO route and getting those 2 years and just getting stronger and getting better really helped me out to go to an even higher level of basketball.
Oh, that's great. Where'd you commit to?
I've decided to go play at Cleveland State.
Oh, okay. Going down with my guy, Coach Raphael Howard. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. We've been tight for about a decade or so, a little over, and that's great. It's gonna be a good program, and that puts you into a tough system. I've been in this system, man, after I left Coach Rodney and left Fisk, I've been 10 years in the Region 7. And it's not easy. You know, we got Walton State in here and you guys, Ball State and Columbia State. So it's a tough region, but it's one of the regions too. Several kids have come out in the past, have gone on to the NBA ranks, or gone overseas, man. So congratulations on that and continue to move forward. And Coach Rodney, you want to talk a little bit about Tez, even though he's not here, man, and congratulate him where his next move is?
Yeah, he's going to be going down to the University of Northern Alabama.
Yeah, he's going to be down there with my camp. So I told him I'm going to get him some catfish and some church.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be time for him to get going and get back to. It'll be time for all these guys to get back to work soon. Everybody on this podcast as well as him.
Yeah, that'd be good, man. I told him when I talked to him, that's down there where all my relatives at in Florence, Muscle Shoals area. So I've already spoken to some relatives, make sure he's good. If he needs something, he'll be okay. But I'm just glad, man, that 22 years, man, you've been grinding this out, baby. It ain't been short-lived, and you finally put the formula together. I'm proud of you, man, and just to see that you continue to touch the young kids' lives and you continue to do big things for them and all that, man. I'm proud of you for that.
Thanks. Thank you, man.
And for those that don't know, he's also got another player that's sitting in the Final Four right now, and JP Pegues is at University of Auburn, could possibly come home, which he had an opportunity to win a state championship, as we spoke about earlier, but the pandemic upended that. Now maybe he'll come home with a bigger ring on his hand from the NCAA. And speaking of that, go ahead, Coach.
I got a feeling that's what's going to happen. When Tyron and X were 10th graders, they were playing in the state Final Four when JP hit that game winner against UVA. We were actually watching that game together, so it seems like we've always been linked. His success and our success has always been linked all the way through this thing. So for him to come home with that would be a hell of an accomplishment, adding to what his alma mater did this year.
Oh yeah, he's a great kid, good family from Chicago with me, and that's awesome, man. Do it. And speaking of the tournament, come on, Ty, come on, Zay, come on, Lonnie, talk to me, man. Who y'all got, man? Who you got, Ty?
I got Florida. Winning it all.
What you like about Florida?
They different. They versatile.
Yeah, that point guard, he definitely, man. Whew, he'll beat.
Yeah. But if JP bring it home, that'd be nice too. 2 in 1 year.
Yeah. That'd be dope. And what you thinking, Zay? Who you got in this tournament?
I agree with Ty. Florida, Florida, they really, really good. But again, if JP and Auburn can bring home that championship, that'd be good for not just him, but for the Hillsboro community also. Somebody going to Auburn and bringing home a national championship.
Right. And Lonnie, what you thinking, babe?
I got Duke.
I'm with Lonnie. I got Duke too.
Lonnie.
Well, what you about with Duke, Lonnie? What you think about with Duke? What you like about it?
Just the size of the size, and over the summer I was watching a lot of Dana Life's as Duke. They talked a lot about brotherhood, so I mean they're family. So I got Duke winning it.
Yeah, I got Duke myself, man. More importantly, from the coaching perspective, man, they got bigs that can defend at the 3. They got bigs that's going to box you, keep you off the boards. They can switch it out. And they impressed me when Cooper Flagg went down on injury right in the ACC tournament, and they kept rolling right along. That's a sign of a hell of a good team. And they got the depth. A lot of teams don't have the depth, and John Schreier, he goes 9-10 deep. And that makes it very difficult. But I like him playing Auburn as well, because I think Broome is on a different level right now. So it's going to be interesting, to see that. And definitely, as you guys echo, love to see JP come back, put up something in the hollow walls of Hillsboro, and and just continue to walk in some good footsteps. What you guys did. So, any last words here, Coach? You got any last words for me?
Just thanks for having us, and thanks guys for jumping on with me. I guess we'll do this a couple more weeks, and we'll kind of transition on to the next stage. But I'm just proud of all three of you guys, and I'm glad to do this show with you guys. It's an honor.
Man, that's great. Ty, what's your last word for us, Ty?
Yeah, Lord, Coach C said, appreciate you having us on here. Just a platform to get us ready for the next level. Yeah.
No, and you, Zay?
Thank you, for giving us this opportunity and appreciating our big accomplishment of winning the state championship.
Well, yeah, big time. And Lonnie, you got the last words on that?
Thanks for having us. That means a lot.
Well, I appreciate you, man. You guys always got a chance. Coach Rodney always got his back. No matter what he does, I show up at game, show up at his house. So we good to go like that, man. And we done dug in many years together, man. Little Tony and Rodney. I was sitting in the game with Rodney the other day, and he pointed something out to me. Coach, he was like, "Man, I just remember when me and Little Tone you and Dad was talking one night. Me and him were playing basketball on the street on my little hoop, and now all of a sudden they coming out of college." So what I can leave you three with is that time waits for no one. And if you're going to do something, I gave Coach Rodney a biblical verse going into the tournament. 1 Corinthians 9:24 talks about, run as to win. And you guys did just that. It talks about, John in the Bible talks about there's always a contest. And there's a lot of people who enter the contest, but there's only one person that can receive a medal. So I want to congratulate you guys, man. Give your flowers early on, man. And I appreciate you. And Lonnie, I tell you, man, go in, be that leader, continue to listen to Coach. And I guarantee you, before you finish up in the next 24 months, you'll be a champion all over again. So I appreciate you guys. And thank you. Tomorrow night, as you guys get a chance to read as we close the show out here, if you want to make sure that you check in with us on Tuesday night, we have another show in music and entertainment with Val's Voice. She's got a guest star on tomorrow night, also from Nashville, Tennessee, a gospel singer, and she'll be on Interludes Talk on Tuesdays, which is great. So make sure you check back in with us at 8 p.m. Central Time. And then for those that want to learn how to work with Rise, NIL, that's my own branded company here. And the Rise, talking about how to brand athletes with brands, making sure everyone is getting paid while they're playing college athletics. And again, I appreciate you guys for tuning in with us tonight. But you know my words. Peace.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Bounce the voice and Coach Tony, it's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. I said bounce the voice and Coach Tony, it's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up